welcome to my book journal year in review 2021 wrap-up video situation this year, and I guess next year as well, because I'm going to keep using this journal. I'm using a Electron 1917. I designed the stickers on the cover. These stickers are by Packed Lunch Club, who's wonderful. I have a little key which I designed to look like a library issuing card. It's got all the different kinds of books that I read, and inside I keep a bunch of printouts of books that I think I'm going to read. You'll notice there are a lot in there because I'm very optimistic and I don't actually read. Key which I didn't really use. A quote from Seanan McGuire's Middle Game, which is one of my favourite books. I love it so much. Seanan McGuire, favourite author, love her so much. Grid spacing, self-explanatory. Read a Wheelhouse, if you're not sure what that is, I really highly recommend checking out the Reading Classes podcast. They discuss them a lot, and it's just kind of discovering more about yourself as a reader. And we're into 2021. Every year I'm like, I'm absolutely going to do these book write read harder challenges, and every year I fucking don't. Same with the Reading Glasses and the Professional Book Nerds challenges, which are two podcasts that I really like about books. Just didn't do them. 2021, am I right? Me and one of my friends were going to do a book club this year. We didn't. I was going to read a book from all these different continents and countries. I didn't. I was going to color code all these books that I read this year, and I didn't. That's the biggest mood of 2021, actually. Here are my book stats for the year, which I did fill out. I read 85 books in total, most of them audiobooks. If you tell me that doesn't count as reading, you can get fucked, honestly. It's ableist and shitty and a bad take. And yeah, that's how I mostly read. I was going to read some series, and I didn't. I wanted to read all these books, which look really cool. I read two of them. Mary, a very great graphic novel, and Shit Actually, which is a super fun book of movie review essays. It's really funny. It's just a joy. And everything else I just didn't read. 2021 mood. Here are the books I read in January. The Bluffs was so fucking good. It was very much up my alley. It's like an Australian thriller, crime, missing girls. Were they abducted? Was there a supernatural force? I don't know. Such a fun book. The Fire Never Goes Out by Noelle Stevenson. Everything Noelle Stevenson does is incredible. Their work is chef's kiss. I was really on a thriller kick in January. Read a lot of Stuart McBride, Logan McRae books. Kingdom of Needle and Bone by Mary Grant. Kingdom of Needle and Bone by Mary Grant. Mary Grant is the pen name of Seanan McGuire. When she writes horror books, it's about pandemics, which is rough, but it's really fun. Reread Ella Enchanted. Delightful. Don't even talk to me about the movie. The movie sucks. It's so different from the book. I don't know how to separate them. When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole was a really fun book. It really reminded me of the film Get Out. Just the whole weird race stuff happening in America. The Witch Boy I read with my neighbour's kid who I babysit for. The Project by Courtney Summers was really fun. It was a bit culty. And I say a bit culty, I mean it was very culty, and I love a cult book. Peel of the Woods had the sweetest illustrations. It's such a gorgeous little graphic novel. Area 7 is peak dad reading, but for some reason I've just always really liked that book, so I read it every couple of years. And Into the Drowning Deep is my favourite book of all time. There are queers, there's killer mermaids. I'm obsessed with it. Highly recommend reading it. I love it so much. I read the Selection series by Kara Cass in May. It's very like The Bachelor meets The Hunger Games, and I love reality TV, so it was fun, like quite like a bit trashy, but like fun trashy. I don't know, I really liked it. This was another audiobook, not an audiobook, this was another babysitting read. Lumberjanes, always loved Lumberjanes. Fangirl the manga, I really loved the original book, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, so I wanted to read that. It was fine. Susan Cooper, the Darkest Rising series, I've always really loved it. Green Witch is my favourite, so reread that one. Five Girls in a Caravan, that was my favourite Famous Five book when I was a kid. I was just on a bit of a reread kick. Surrender Your Sons is a Buck Wild conversion therapy story. Yeah, so like trigger warnings for a shitload of stuff, but interesting, good book. I'll Be the One by Lila Lee is perfection. Fat POC queer protagonist out there killing it. Trigger warnings for fat phobia, queer phobia, homophobia, and yeah, but it's a joy. The Honeymooners and Beach Read I both saw mentioned on Book Talk, and they were really fun. It Ends With Us is a great book. It's bleak as shit. I didn't realize it was going to be bleak as shit going in. It's just a warning. Bleak as shit. These were a couple of babysitting raids, more babysitting raids. The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix is so fun. I love Grady Hendrix. I think his books are just like really great. They are like comedic horror, which is very much up my alley. Pony on the Porch was a book that I really loved when I was a kid, so I just popped back in there. The Other Side of Beautiful was recommended to me by a bookseller at this really lovely little bookshop in Auckland called Lamplight Books. The owner is such a gem. She's so lovely, and she was like, oh, have you checked this one out? So I did, and it was great. Then I reread I'll Be the One because I loved it so much. You Need to Know by Nicola Moriarty was great. Nicola and her sister Leanne both write really great like Australian like family drama thrillers, and I love them. Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism, exactly what it says on the tin. It was a great book, really interesting. Gather the Daughters is so fucking bleak, like trigger warnings for rape, incest, all this shit. Like it was a good book, but like yikes. I felt like I aged 5 years reading it. One Last Stop, really fun, really sweet, queer girl story, written by the same author who did Red, White and Royal Blue, which everyone was very into, including me. Geekarella is exactly what it sounds like. Amelia Westlake Was Never Here was a really fun, like, high school story about teenage girls standing up for shit they believe in, which was dope. My Heart is a Chainsaw. I've been hearing about Stephen Graham Jones for years. I've been finally got around to reading one of his books, which was great. I'm hoping to read more of his stuff next year. How to Save a Life by Lynnette Rice. It's the inside story of Grey's Anatomy. It's self-explanatory. I love Grey's Anatomy, so it was very much in my wheelhouse. I Did Girl Gang, such a fun book. I read it every year around October. Pumpkinheads, same, but it's a graphic novel. Also, these washi tapes I designed. The sticker is by Wellington Zine Fest. This and a bunch of other stickers are by Procrastinator Co., who's lovely and very talented and makes amazing stickers. Same with this one, and this is another Wellington Zine Fest sticker. She Drives Me Crazy is a really lovely, like YA queer girl in high school just sorting their shit out book. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I love Stephanie Perkins. The Woods Are Always Watching was my least favorite of hers so far, I think, but it was still pretty good. But The Someone Inside Your House is perfect because it's like, it's a slasher, but it's also got like the fun like YA like teen movie vibes, which I really like. I reread the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe series, and And betwixt that, I read Ararat, which is very much like a dad book, but I love a dad book, like a thriller set on a mountain and like supernatural. Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. She's one of my favorite writers. It's incredible. It's my second favorite book of hers now, I think, after Big Little Lies, which is one of my favorite books of all time. This was another babysitting read. Christmas Sisters. I love reading like festive themed books. Christmas Sisters is very sweet. Local Woman Missing. It was fine. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Christmas Swap, it's straight garbage. Sorry. Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green is gorgeous. It's thoughtful. It's a selection of essays about life, and I really loved it, really recommend it. My True Love Gave to Me is just like a Christmas YA anthology, very sweet. Middle Game by Shauna Maguire, like I started the book with a quote from it. I love that book. It's delightful. By Christmas In is another Christmas reread. I love Christmassy things. I think they're very sweet. They make me happy. The Bluffs, I reread it. I liked it so much at the start of the year. I found out that he's released a new book, so I wanted to reread it before I read the new one, which I'm hopefully going to do first book of 2022. Back on my Famous 5 grind, back on my C.S. Lewis grind, and that's it for 2021. Here I will be putting like a year wrap-up situation probably, and I'll start on 2022, but I might do that in another video. If you're interested, let me know. And if you want to find more of my art stuff, like the stickers and the washi tape, check me out at my website julia.co or my Instagram, which is Glaciers, GLACIARS, or check me out on Twitter at Julia Howard, or just follow along here, give me a like, whatever the vibe is. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Happy New Year's.